You should have taken the realm for yourself. Jaime told me about the day King's Landing fell. He was sitting in the Iron Throne and you made him give it up. All you needed to do was climb the steps yourself. Such a sad mistake.
I've made many mistakes in my life. But that wasn't one of them.
Oh, but it was. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win, or you die. There is no middle ground.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 8 prediction video. Today I actually want to talk about the characters that I believe will survive the entire series, but before I get into that, I just want to let everyone know that the next winner from my Game of Thrones series giveaway has been randomly selected, and your name will be announced at the end of this video. I still have a few seasons left of the Game of Thrones series that I am giving away, so if you want a chance to win one of them, just go to the link down in the description. But let's begin. I'm sure most of you have seen my Season 8 death prediction videos by now. In those videos, I was pretty confident those characters would die, but there are also some characters who I am pretty confident will survive the entire series as well. And then there are actually a few characters I haven't decided on yet, but today I just want to talk about the characters that I can see making it out of this alive. And I will be honest, there aren't many that I would guarantee will live because I do think the majority of the cast will die by the end. I actually did a live stream on Friday night for everybody on Patreon, which I will be doing every Friday night from now on. But during that stream, someone asked me which characters I thought would live, and I apologize because I can't remember exactly who asked me this question. I think it's no secret that everybody in Westeros is potentially on the verge of being killed. Now that the Night King is south of the Wall and he's riding on a blue flame-breathing dragon, with 100,000 whites marching under him, plus several giants, and having the ability to raise the dead, pretty much all of the characters are in danger right now. And this is just going to be one of the wars they're going to have to face, because Cersei still has no intentions of making any alliances other than hiring the Golden Company to go to war for her. So I expect to see a lot of bloodshed in this final season. Not to mention, HBO did bring back Miguel Sapochnik to direct several episodes. And if you don't know who Miguel Sapochnik is, he is the director who did episodes like Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards, which is perfect because he can potentially direct another big battle against the dead and a big battle against Cersei. I am extremely confident they brought Miguel back to direct some next level war scenes. And if you want to know which characters I think will die during these wars, then go back and check out my Season 8 death videos. But I did enough setup, now let's discuss who I think will live when it's all said and done, and the dust settles. Who will be there to ensure the way of living can be better than it was before? Who will be there for the Dream of Spring phase? I'm going to go with a very obvious choice for most people with my first pick. I think Samwell Tarly will survive the Game of Thrones. I would be absolutely stunned if Samwell Tarly died next season, which is why I have to put him on my character survival list. If Sam died, I would be even more surprised than I was when I saw Ned Stark get beheaded. Let's just put it that way. Sam is kinda one of the perfect candidates to survive all of the fighting and be left around to help restore the Seven Kingdoms. Now I know some people think Sam will actually be fighting in the Great War because he still has Heartsbane with him, but I honestly don't see him doing much fighting unless he absolutely has to. Like maybe protecting Gilly and baby Sam if something were to happen and a White Walker or White would get close enough to them. But other than that, I really don't think Sam is going to be out on that battlefield. I just don't see that happening, but I could be wrong. Sam is one of the most intelligent characters remaining in the show, and I think he's going to find a way to survive. And he will be one of the few characters that help establish new laws and ways of living so that future generations can prosper and live a more civilized lifestyle than those who came before them. When this series ends, I don't think there will be one king or queen ruling over the Seven Kingdoms. I don't see the survivors wanting to allow one person to have that much power again, unless it was someone like Jon, a person who isn't evil and corrupt. It would need to be a person who is willing to do the right thing for all of the people instead of just looking out for their own desires. I think the new system that gets put in place will be part of the bittersweet ending. I think the bitter part will be losing most of the beloved characters and several of the kingdoms being destroyed. But the sweet part will be clearing out most of the corrupt and evil people. That way the new generation doesn't have to put up with the same shit that everyone else had to deal with. I guess you could say breaking the wheel, so to speak. I think Brienne of Tarth will survive the entire series also. Everyone already knows she is one of the best fighters in Westeros, and she has a Valyrian steel sword. Brienne should have no problem surviving any war. She already has the right training and the perfect weapon to defend herself against anyone. Except for the dragons and giants, of course, but you know what I mean. What I think will happen is Brienne will survive, but Jaime and Tormund will actually die. The two men that are closest to Brienne will lose their lives, unfortunately, and it will continue that cycle of Brienne losing the man that she loved. And in this case, she will even lose a man that loves her. I could see Jaime or Tormund sacrificing themselves to save Brienne, if push comes to shove. But just to be clear, I don't want either one of them to die. I would actually love to see Tormund become a made man, and a new House Giantsbane be established, but I just don't know if his story's gonna end happily. But I do believe Brienne will be another one of those characters that survives and helps restore the lands. She is all about honor and doing the right thing. She has also had her own moments of walking that gray line, but overall Brienne is a really good person, and I would be pretty confident she could help make Westeros great again. Gendry is another character that I believe will survive the series as well. He falls right in line with that younger generation of characters who needs to be around for the rebuilding and Dream of Spring phase. Someone needs to be there to carry on the Baratheon name, and I'm still confident that Jon and/or Daenerys will legitimize Gendry and make him a Baratheon. And I am still strongly holding out hope that the Starks and Baratheons can join their houses, just like Robert told Ned back in Season 1. Gendry will be in Winterfell when Season 8 begins, and we have Sansa Stark and Arya Stark there as well. Gendry needs to marry one of the Stark daughters. Preferably Arya, because they already have a great relationship together. Now I know Gendry is older than Arya, but Arya has definitely grown up since the last time that they saw each other. Personally, I would be perfectly fine with those two hooking up, but if not, then maybe him and Sansa can hit it off and have a child together. And their Stark and Baratheon baby could grow up with Daenerys and Jon's baby. I can see Missandei surviving the series also. She's not going to be out there fighting anyone, and she hasn't really made any enemies that would put a price on her head, so I don't see any reason why she would die, unless she was put in a very vulnerable position. Like I said in one of my death prediction videos, I think Grey Worm will die, but Missandei will live. They spent enough time getting people invested into the Grey Worm and Missandei love story, so now I think it's time they rip some people's hearts out by killing Grey Worm during the Great War. I don't want that to happen, but he will probably die. He has never fought an enemy like this before, and he has never fought in the North before either. As great as Grey Worm might be, I don't think he has what it takes to survive against the Night King and his army. I also believe Tyrion Lannister will survive all of the bloodshed as well. I talked about this a little bit with some of you during the live stream, so I don't want to go on another rant about how I felt about Tyrion's character these last few seasons, but let's just say I think he can do better, and I'm hoping there is a silver lining at the end of this series for him. Tyrion is another character who I am not entirely sure we will see him fighting on the battlefield during Season 8. I know he was willing to fight on multiple occasions throughout this series, but I just don't see him getting suited and booted again. Unless he absolutely has to, of course, which is possible because they might need every swinging dick in the field against the Night King. But I think Tyrion will remain as a councilman for now, and I believe he will carry this type of role into the future. Tyrion has made some very poor decisions over the years, but deep down, he does have a good heart in the television series. And I think he would be a good candidate to help rebuild and restore things to some sort of normalcy after the dust settles. I truly believe if they can defeat the Night King and Cersei and Euron and people like that, then they will have a good chance at turning Westeros into a more civilized place to live. Now, many people will die during this process as they try to rid the world of evil, but if this can be achieved, they will have something to look forward to. The sacrifices would be worth it in the end, if the next generation can have a more peaceful place to live. I might actually end up making another video about which characters I think will live, because like I said at the beginning of this video, there are still a handful of characters that I haven't decided whether I think they will live or die yet. I will have to think about that some more before I am confident in saying one thing or the other. But the characters that I have listed today, I am confident they will win the Game of Thrones. They have all taken losses along the way, but in the end they will win, just by simply surviving this dangerous and deadly game. But now it's time to announce the next winner of my Game of Thrones series giveaway, then I will end the video, that way I don't keep rambling and taking up too much of your time. Today's winner is Priscilla Seaman from Tampa Bay, Florida. Congratulations, Priscilla. Just make sure you send me a private message on YouTube, or you can email me and let me know which season of Game of Thrones you want. I still have 2 seasons left that I am giving away, so good luck to everyone else that has or will enter. Just use the link that's down in the description. Thank you all for watching, I really do appreciate that, and thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you in the next one. Bye.